Hi everyone, I am student forecaster Stephen Boyle for the Northeast Storm Center. It is Tuesday, January 29, 2013. This is a web briefing on the current storm situation that will be moving into our area in the early hours of tomorrow and should be lasting through the morning hours of Thursday. This should start exiting our region by Thursday morning, early afternoon. So basically, here are the current frontal positions. Our current frontal positions, basically we have a major cold front into the central parts of the country. Behind this we have Arctic air that is pushing into the region, and there's actually being snow reported into the central portions of the country. Behind this storm system, there's also a warm air mass that is ahead of this, and basically this is these two ingredients and plus some instability in the upper levels, and all of this combined together is really producing a very phenomenal severe weather event in through really anywhere between Arkansas and all the way up into portions of Illinois. There are many tornado warnings that are out right now. There are also tons of severe thunderstorm warnings as well. So this should start entering into our some of our forecast regions: southeastern Indiana, northern Kentucky, southern Ohio, by around midnight tonight, 1 in the morning. This should start entering into Pennsylvania and eastern portions of Ohio by 7 a.m., between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m., and this should be on the East Coast by about 1 tomorrow or 1 Thursday morning, and basically we'll be seeing very heavy rain by that time. There's also a very, very intense upper level jet with this as well, and it has very strong winds aloft. There's very, very strong winds aloft, and you'll see that in our next slide here. Whoops, wrong way. Here is the simulated radar imagery, and this is basically tomorrow around 7 a.m. 7 p.m., and you can see very heavy thunderstorms moving into the southern portions of our area, but still very heavy rain in through portions of Pennsylvania and also into New York, starting to enter into portions of New England. Now, these are the winds at the upper levels, and you can see that these are anywhere between 60 to really 80 miles an hour. And these are at 850 millibars, and because we have these cloud tops that are going fairly high up into the atmosphere, we also have this convection that's going on as well. What'll happen here is you'll actually be able to see some of these winds transferred down to the surface, which is a very, very intense thing. Some coastal areas, as you can see, the Boston area and also into the Cape Cod and the islands, it's very possible that those regions could see extremely intense winds with gusts up to 70 miles an hour with this. Very powerful wind situation with this. There could be some tree limbs that get knocked down, some power lines that come down, situations like that. So make sure you're very careful when it comes in terms of the winds that we have with this, because this is going to be a very intense situation. Here are the model QPF amounts, and those of you who don't know what QPF stands for, it's for quantitative precipitation forecast, or basically the amount of precipitation that's going to fall. And for the most part, you can see very heavy amounts into some of our southern sections, about 1.5 inches being reported by this model. I believe this is in a 6 or 3 hour period. This I believe is in a bigger swath of time, but anywhere between 1 inch to 2 inches locally over up to 3 inches being shown by this particular model. And then this model shows basically a widespread ½ inch to inch with locally over an inch of rain. So basically that's what it's looking like. So basically a widespread 1 to 2 inches. Now here are the current watches and warnings that have been posted by NOAA. Now I just want to point out here that these winter weather advisories, freeze and rain advisories, and this lake effect snow watch, these are not for tomorrow's event. This is actually for a little bit of precipitation ahead of the warm front that we're seeing tonight. Actually, if we go back a few pages, notice how there is some precipitation, and this is actually ahead of this warm front. This is creating some issues, particularly in through New England for freeze and rain, which could cause some issues on the roads tomorrow morning. But basically most of this is a very light freeze and rain event, but even light amounts of freeze and rain can cause severe issues. So basically we do have high wind watches basically into northern New York, portions of Vermont. To let you know, there's a lot of high wind watches, but these winter winter alerts are covering them. There's also a flash flood watch that's in effect for most of New Jersey, eastern Pennsylvania. A flood watch that's out in the Hudson River Valley. I believe there's a flood watch as well in through most of southern New England. There's also a wind advisory out into western New York, and basically a lot of action going on as far as watches and warnings go. There's also a coastal flood watch that's being put out for the Washington, D.C. area, so we'll have to keep our eyes on that as well. So there's a lot going on here. There's also a lot of fog tonight, so you really want to be careful about that. There's a lot of hazards that we have ahead of this cold front. There's a lot of action going on. So here are the surface temperatures, and I wanted to show you guys these because this shows you the very, very intense dramatic change from ahead of the front to behind the front. Now this is one model, and you can see that ahead of this front we have temperatures into the 50s, 60s, even into some areas close to 70 degrees, if not over 70 degrees. And behind this front, we have basically temperatures into the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So basically, a fairly dramatic change. This is another one. This is a little bit of a cooler scenario, but even still, 50s and 60s, and through many areas. So and of course the low is this low pressure system that you're seeing right here is a low pressure system that's creating the precipitation ahead of this cold front, and this will continue to move eastward. So basically that's the temperature. So now there is the potential for some back end snow with this particular front. Notice how I put up 4 models. Okay, this one right here is the NAM, this is the GFS, this is the Euro, and this is the Canadian. The NAM, it shows potential back-end snow, particularly in through Pennsylvania, New York, and even the D.C. area. Now, this will continue to move eastward, and this back-end snow will hold together. So this would move through rest of New Jersey in through New England. Higher chances are in New England that this snow actually falls. We also have most models are showing this back-end snow. It's just how heavy this back-end snow is. Is it going to be a light snow, or is it going to be a moderate, or could it even be heavy? That's the major question that needs to be answered. And right now, most models are going with a lighter snow, maybe some snow showers to finish things off here with this particular system. But basically, that's what it looks like right now. And basically, here is the general summary of this event. So we're watching for the potential of severe weather, especially in southwestern sections of the region. I would expect severe weather headlines to be posted in those regions, which would include Virginia, West Virginia, and parts of Ohio, also northern Kentucky. Generally, 1 to 2 inches of rain with locally higher amounts possible. There are several watches out as far as flooding goes. Potential of damage and winds with gusts up to 60 miles an hour, with higher gusts and heavy rain and thunderstorms due to the convection that these heavy rain squalls will have. So when you get a very heavy rain squall, the winds will maybe increase as well. And with that being said, there is plenty of high wind watches that are out right now. Arctic air will be filtering in behind the cold front. If precipitation is held behind the front, could see some snowfall on the backside, and that would be on Thursday morning. So basically, that's what's going on with this event. A lot going on. It's a very intense situation. You want to stay safe and make sure that you secure your items outside, because some of them, especially some of your lighter items, could become airborne and could do some damage. So make sure you're careful about that. Make sure you stay safe. And thank you for watching. And I hope you visit our website, which is nestormcenter.wordpress.com. I am student forecaster Stephen Boyle. Thank you for watching.